Time out for a second. That wasn't supposed to happen. Do you see that thing that fell out of me? What is that? It's not the surprise. I've never seen it before.
What the fuck?
Oh, I loaded from vault save.
Okay, yeah, Dinoz loaded something completely separate, so we may need to retry that start.
Understandable.
Load from vault safe.
So yeah, to turn off vault save, do speedrun _ save, then 2 quotation marks, and then you can do speedrun _ start, and it'll just load the first map.
What's the first map called?
Test
Okay.
CHMB _A_00.
Alright, it should be working for me.
Alright. Okay, are we good to go a second time?
No. How do you
Alright.
spell the first name? It's kind of stupid.
I was just able to do speedrun
Oh,
save
A.
with quotes.
Yeah.
Can you deafen me, by the way?
Yes, in here.
Okay. What the...
Okay. Looks like we've had a timer fail from Dinoz. Having some solid technical difficulties for this run. Alright. Well, Dinoz's timer is now running. We have about a 40-second offset, but I think we may as well just keep going. We have both runners in a run going, and that's all that we can really ask for at this point. So, our 2 runners are Dinoz, currently the rank 4 Portal Glitchless speedrunner, and Gurf, who is rank 40-something, I think. Dinoz has a PB of 1503, and Gurf has a PB of 1647. So, obviously a bit of a gulf between those 2 runners. Good chance that Dinoz is going to be the one to take this, but you never know. Gurf has been running a fair bit recently. He's had some decent PB paces that he's unfortunately choked. But Dinoz's PB was from 16 months ago. So I don't know if he's rusty or maybe he is better than ever. We'll have to see. But yeah, Dinoz now exiting the vault as Gurf waits for the cube in 01. Right, no cube throw from Dinoz. Completely reasonable in a race. You definitely don't want to be failing cube throw and losing more time than you gain from it. Really just not worth it. Gurf now coming to the end of that first map. Going to be exiting with a time of 208? Yeah, 208 exit from 0001 for Gurf. So in his PB, he seemingly got a 206, which is a fair bit slower than Dinoz, who got a 203. So, already 3 seconds in PBs for that first map. Who knows what is going to happen here. But Dinoz absolutely nailing that. Dinoz has amazing movement. So, one can expect him to get a decent time out of that first split, even though he hasn't necessarily got, that cube throw and everything in that. Gurf not doing pre-fizzle, just looking to jump down and head into a wall portal.
Very well.
Alright, so Gurf now heading into
and its
03. Dinoz is waiting in Chamber 2 still. So obviously it's a little tough to visualize that time difference so far, because they're a little bit out of sync, but I reckon with a bit of help, with a bit of time, we may possibly see Dinoz catch up. I don't know about that though. Alright, Gurf now entering 04, doing the mid-air cube grab strategy, a very cool one, although technically a little bit slower than jumping into the pit, which is what I suspect we'll see Dinoz doing once he makes it to 04. But yep, no shots into the hallway of 03. It is a precise shot to make. So yeah. Alright, Gurf coming into 05. Gets that first cube fine, I believe. Gets that second cube, makes the shot. Very nice. No issues in 05 for Gurf. Dino's coming over here, jumping down into that. Not very clean. That's alright. Has to fiddle with the cube a bit to make sure it doesn't fall off the button. Loves to do that. But yeah, Gurf now waiting for GLaDOS to finish talking so he can head into 06 and 07. Dino is waiting to head up to 05. Alright, so Gurf finishing 4-5 at a 424. Alright, Dino's first drop seems alright. Second one's good. Yeah, both runners managed to do an 05 with no issues. Alright, Gurf, I didn't see what he did for 06, but seemingly didn't have any issues based on that time. And coming into 07 now, see what 07 he does. He's electing to do the double fling rather than the upside down, backwardsy, whatchamacallit thing. I don't know what it's called exactly. Alright, and it looks like a 426 exit from 4-5 for Dinoz. So interestingly enough, that means that he is about 2 seconds behind where Gurf is. So for the moment, Gurf is technically in the lead. We'll see how that continues. Alright, Gurf unfortunately having a bit of trouble with the block jump there, getting it third or fourth try. Dino's coming out, of course, doing the said upside down, backwardsy, flippy thingamajig that I don't know the name of. Only a little bit faster, but it does look pretty cool. Alright. Gurf doing the cube throw now. Hits it first try, very nice. Dino's hits block jump first try, no issues there. Gonna be making up some time.
Very impressive. Please note that any appearance of danger is merely a device to enhance your testing experience.
Alright.
The enrichment center
And Dino's leaving 09 at, I think, a 5:37, so now about 6 seconds ahead of Gurf by the looks of it. Although does miss the cube throw, so doesn't quite get that one. Alright, Gurf hitting that fling with not much trouble. Going to be entering into 11-12. A bit of a transitional one here. We're going to start seeing a lot more different strats for this one as Dinoz enters 10. Yep, so just the regular strategy for Gurf, not doing any dolphin strats in Chamber 11. Dinoz not quite getting the fling first try, trying to do a faster fling, but doesn't quite manage it. But yep, Gurf making it through 11-12 cleanly so far. We'll see what he does for 12, most likely just a platform skip. Yep, hits that without issue. Alright, Dinoz, of course, doing dolphin strats. You know, the man who found it himself. Unfortunately dies, though, after missing the shot into the end room, so that's really unlucky. Gurf trying to do cube throw, unfortunately fails at first try. Does technically land it, but I don't know if he would have made it through. Oh, unfortunate again. So Gurf went down to put the cube on the button, but it fell off after. So Gurf not having a good time in Chamber 12. Dino's now entering Chamber 12 and is just going to be doing... Oh, actually, no, he is going to be doing a fun title there. Doesn't quite hit it first try. Hits it second try. Alright. Does try to do the run to the door strategy, which is interesting. Most people don't do that for fun titles because it is a lot harder. But yeah. So Dino is probably making up a fair bit of time in Chamber 12, although he did get second try fun titled, second try cube throw. So not as much time as he could have made up. Alright, Gurf entering 14 now, just going to be doing the regular fling to get up to the end. As Dino's is now coming into the elevator to go to 14, most likely going to be doing reportal, although who knows, it is a race, and reportal maybe not worth it, given how little time it saves. No, he is doing reportal. Hits it first try, no issues at all. Makes it into there. Alright. So is Gurf going to hit first cycle? Yeah, without too much of an issue. Oh no, unfortunate. So he unfortunately shot that portal just a few ticks too late, and that's going to mean he has to wait for that orb to come back around. Dino's, meanwhile, now entering into that same room, does get first cycle without incident. He does have a video of him hitting it about 70 times in a row, so that was to be expected. Dino's is now doing that fling, makes it into the elevator in about one hop, although he seemed to have scuffed on the Ellie step a little bit. Alright, so 9:34 exit from 15 for Gurf, and about a 9:05 for Dinos. So that is quite a significant number. So that's about a 30-second lead for Dinos at the moment. Looks like both of them are setting up for Spider-Man. You know, I don't think Spider-Man was ever a dolphin in the comics, but maybe. But yeah, Gurf doing the traditional strat, not killing the turrets, not doing the safe strat. So same with Dinos, both doing very similar routes through there. And then we get to 17. It should be interesting to see what people do, because I, so far in this tournament, have seen a lot more camera stacks than I would have expected. Because in my opinion, Chilino is probably easier, probably more consistent. Who knows? But yeah, you can see the runners are now almost tied on the screen, even though that massive timer deficit that Gurf picked up at the start. But yeah, it should be interesting to see what routes we see here. Gurf managing to not get killed by that orb, it was looking a little bit threatening. Alright, by the looks of it, he's going to be doing a camera stack, as is Dino's. So for Gurf, probably more a Chilino is a bit harder for him and doesn't have to do it yet at his level. Dino's, that's probably more just because when he was playing Glitchless and when he was the world record holder for Glitchless, Chilino didn't exist yet. Chilino being the fling in 17, by the way. That is the unofficial official name for it. So yeah, both runners doing camera stack there, which, as I said, I wasn't expecting to see as much in this tournament, but so far that has been the choice, even though it is a notoriously inconsistent route. Alright, so Gurf attempting to do a fling here. I think Dinos did the overhead strafe. Most likely going to do the second overhead as well. Or not. Oh, that's an interesting route. He actually went back through. I have never seen anyone do that before. Be very curious to know if that's faster or not. But yeah, both runners now entering the reportals. I'm not sure if Dinos hit any of the reportals exactly, but he did at least fail Impossible Shot, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, Dino's having a bit of a rough time at the end of 18 here, but I think he has activated the dialogue trigger by now, so he is all good. So Gurf now waiting for the elevator to start. There it goes. So Gurf's going to be exiting Chamber 18 with a time of 12:41. Dino is going to be exiting at 12:07. So again, that gap is still there. It's pretty big. All right, both runners doing the peaks. And now they're in the escapes, we're going to start seeing that gap open up quite significantly. And you can see here just how much faster Dinoz is going than Gurf, even though they were about tied entering into Chamber 19, at least tied on our screens. There is now a huge deficit being built up already. Chamber 19 is just one of those chambers where spending a huge amount of time with it means that you can go way, way faster, even if you haven't changed your route that much. So Dino is hitting that shot. Third try is going to do a fast fling. Doesn't get it quite right, though. Gurf now coming down to the bottom here. Again, Dino's is failing that. Yeah, managed the third try, but that was a pretty big time loss that allowed Gurf to make up a bit more time. Although it took Gurf a few tries to get onto that last ledge as well. Alright, Dino is probably going for Mikhail's. Yeah, hits it without issue. Alright, doing all those flings. Gets the high peak as well, although ends up in the goo, which is quite unfortunate. Does the far portal, which is a bit risky. It means you have to jump in your portal to make it across, otherwise you're losing a fair bit of time. And it really doesn't save that much time, so interesting to see. Dino's now in EO1. Going to be coming along here trying to do turret, flippy, skippy, bat. I don't know the full name, I'm sorry. Makes that without issue. Gurf approaching a similar area. Alright, Dino's not struggling too much with the turret. It's a first try vent skip and a vent fling, and hits a first try vent shot. So very nice EO1 from Dinoz. Alright, Gurf now coming into that last room as well. The rocket breaking that hits a first try fling, and it takes a couple tries to get the shot, but that's alright. So Dino's now entering GLaDOS as Gurf enters EO2. So I believe Dino's got a first try catwalk skip. We're going to have to see if Gurf can do that as well. It is a tough trick, requires a lot of practice to get consistent. Unfortunate, so fired 2 shots, neither of them hit, unfortunately. But yeah, Dino's doing that first core optimization, get it in as fast as possible. Alright, Gurf now doing the peaks to get to GLaDOS's room as fast as possible, and activating GLaDOS a good bit after Dino's did. Alright. So Gurf looks like he's setting up for just a regular purple core here. Not going to be doing the fancy optimization to get it in, 0.1 faster or whatever it is. And Dino's now hanging out here under the GLaDOS. I haven't seen this particular strategy before. That is quite an interesting one. So I don't think I've ever seen that specific method of doing this core optimization, although he does seem to be having a bit of trouble with it. Interesting. So I've never seen that particular method of doing that core optimization. Obviously he struggled a little bit with it, but got it done in the end. Now, will he be doing the blue core optimization? He will. So this is one of the more inconsistent optimizations. Looks like he got it in the first try in that instance. Gurf doing first core, I think. Yep. Just going to be doing a regular first core, probably. Not quite, actually. He is actually doing a slight optimization over it, which is pretty cool. All right, and the Dino is coming in to do that red core, I believe. Oh, he missed red core, and that was it. Yeah, Dino's finishing out his run with a time of... I'm going to be honest, I can't actually see it. It's a bit too compressed on my screen. But my goodness, that is indeed a good run. Is that a 15:27? 16:27? I can't quite see. But yeah, Gurf finishing off with a 17:21. So yeah, that is indeed very good performances from both runners. I think that's a win for Dinoz. I'm pretty confident, especially given that he won. He finished first with that time deficit. So, yep. Hopefully I'm right in saying that. Let's step back in here. All right. So we'll come and talk with our runners now.
Yes.
All right. So, Dinoz, what was your final time?
16:27.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking
Sorry.
on my screen and it just looks like pixels. Yeah, no, that's all good. Yep, so good job on that run. Gurf getting a 17:21, which is a pretty good run, pretty close to your PB. And of course, that is the first game. And on to the second one. So Dinoz takes the first win. All right, guys, do you want a bit of time to just practice, cool down a second?
Yeah.
Or do we just want to jump into this next one? Or all right.
Could I just grab like a drink? I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right.
This weighted companion cube will accompany you through the test chamber. Please take care of it. The symptoms most commonly produced by enrichment center testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations. The enrichment center reminds you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you and, in The enrichment center reminds you that the weighted companion cube will never threaten to stab you and, in fact, cannot speak.
All right, I'm back.
All right, cool. So, get ready for that next matchup.
The weighted companion cube certainly brought you good luck. However, it cannot accompany.
Wait, stuff sorted out.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever.
Yep.
Okay, let's see if we can get the start a bit more in sync this time. It was a bit confusing last time. Okay. So, start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, coming into the second match now with a synchronized start even, which is pretty cool. So, first match went to Dinoz, not by a huge amount though. You know, even though there's about a minute, 2 minutes separating these two runners, there was only about a 30-second difference there. So, who knows? We potentially could see a third round of this match. Which I think so far we haven't seen in this tournament. I think so far every matchup has been a sweep by the winner. So it would be nice to see a change of pace. Yeah, Dinoz jamming out in the vault, as we all do. Gurf taking a much more relaxed approach. But yeah. And yeah, as Shroom's saying in the chat, world record holder versus top 50, I wonder who wins. Yeah, that is the thing with how seeding works. These first rounds, a lot of the time, aren't particularly even. That's unfortunately just a reality, you know. You have to put it together, but hopefully the next round for both of these runners will be a lot more balanced. So Dino's failing cube throw, Gurf not going for it at all. Ooh, frustrating. So Dino's unfortunately missing, going to put the cube on the button and also getting cube plus plus. That is just unlucky. All right. So Gurf the first one to enter into 01. Dino's following closely second. Although one could say that there aren't any other runners, so of course he's going to be second. All right. So far, Gurf having a clean first map. Dino's having a little bit of trouble in that first room. But, you know, this is by far the simplest map in the game, and there's not really going to be much time being gained or lost, regardless. So Gurf managing to get a 206 exit out of 001, followed very quickly by, I believe, a 211 from Dinoz. So Gurf pulling a little bit of an early lead, especially out of that first chamber. Not often that you see that. But yeah, one would expect that we're going to see probably similar routes to what we saw last time out of this. So most likely no pre-fizzle for Gurf and probably pre-fizzle for Dinoz. So yeah, Gurf going for a floor portal there. Dinoz does indeed hit that very cool trick known as pre-fizzle. Although I'm not actually sure about the whole run to the elevator from there. I guess if you have good movement, maybe it's faster. I don't know. Dinoz is very much a runner who likes to be experimental with his routes and definitely has some of the most unique runs to watch. So it's always a good time watching a Dinoz run. So Gurf getting 316 exit, 319 from Dinoz. So I made up a little bit of that time. Once again, same routes. Gurf doing the cube grab, Dinoz doing the jump into the pit. Both going pretty speedy, not making any mistakes. So nice and clean 4-5 from both. Or 4, I should say. Still yet to enter 5. Alright, Gurf into 5. Grabs that first cube, clean. Both of them getting that first cube. Alright. And both of them making it into that last room with no issues. Although it seems like Dino's made up a lot of time there. So managed to pretty much even out that gap. And his timer is a little bit later, is it? No, it's actually about in time for both of them at the moment. So their load times are probably pretty similar. But yeah, it's funny. You can see Gurf has a green timer at the moment, whereas Dinoz has a red timer. So yeah, even though they are pretty much on the exact same pace right now, you know, the difference to their PBs is obviously pretty big. So yeah, Gurf is on PB pace, whereas Dinoz, I think, would have reset by now. Alright, so seeing an overhead strafe from Dinoz in Chamber 6, just the regular route in 06 for Gurf. Dinoz again doing the cool upsidey downy Chamber 7. Gurf electing to do the fling, which in all honesty is way cooler anyway, even if it is, 0.4 slower. And then we're going to be entering 8. So Dinoz entering 8 a little bit ahead of Gurf. Going to be hitting that portal. Yeah, absolutely no issues with the block jump. We'll see if Gurf can avoid having those issues like he did last time. Yep, no issues at all. So yeah, so far, both riders not really making any mistakes, but Dino is just going a lot faster than Gurf. You know, it really does show the difference between someone who's pretty good at the game and someone who's really good at the game. Although Dinoz does miss that cube throw, unfortunately, so that's going to lose him a few seconds. Gurf also missing the cube throw, unfortunately. He was a lot closer than Dinoz was. So yeah, pretty unfortunate for both those runners, but it does just about equal out, so really neither of them lost out too much. All right, Dinoz entering chamber 10 a couple seconds ahead of Gurf. It's going to do the portal stand. Yep, no issues at all there. Gurf also coming out here. Yep, hits the portal stand. Very nice. All right, and Dinoz makes that fling up to the end. No issues this time. And Gurf also making the fling to the end, although a slightly slower fling, I think. So yeah, so far this run's looking a lot better for Dinoz. Maybe he's, sort of gotten into the rhythm a bit. So Dinoz once again doing Dolphin. Hopefully won't fail it. Yep, manages it first try, very clean. And Gurf entering 11, just going to be doing that regular route again. So this is, again, where we start to see those route differences come in. For the most part, there's one thing that you can do up until this point, but once you reach it, it starts getting really cool. Let's see if Dinoz can hit a first try fun title this time. Not quite, misses the shot up onto the platform, or up onto the panel, I should say. Alright, but it's going to hit that. Oh, misses the cube throw. It's frustrating. Yeah, cube throw is definitely something that comes and goes, Sometimes you'll be really consistent at it, sometimes not at all. Yeah, cube throw is a cruel mistress, but, saves a lot of time, so it's worth doing. Alright. Dinoz now entering 13, and here makes throw. Does fall off the platform, unfortunately, so losing a little bit of time there. Gurf now also entering into 13. Ooh, struggling to grab the cube a little bit. Dinoz coming to 14. Or did he already go through 14? No, that was him entering 14. Although I think he may have been partying so hard he forgot to line up for reportal. So he did have to push out a little bit there to find the right spot. Didn't lose too much time though. Gurf now entering 14. Just doing the regular route, regular fling. Alright. Dino is actually going for 0 cycle. Interesting. Yeah, doesn't quite make it, and second try around he just decides not really worth the risk. Ooh, not gonna make first cycle actually, due to a small mistake. Gonna have to wait for that orb to bounce back. It's a pretty big mistake. Gurf is gonna make first cycle just nice. Does this mean Gurf is better than Dinoz? But yeah, Dinoz now in the elevator, and Gurf making it up to the elevator with no issues. So yeah, a valiant effort from Dinoz, but 0 cycle is really difficult, and hitting in a race, no less. It's reasonable to say, it was a long shot, but he did have the time, to kill, to say, he can definitely still win even with that mistake. So once again, both runners setting up for Spider-Man. Dino's doing the old Spider-Man setup, actually. I don't know if I mentioned that last round. But yeah, doing the slightly harder, but not necessarily slower old Spider-Man setup. Gurf also doing Spider-Man here. Neither of them killing the other turrets for safety. Gurf unfortunately missing the turret. Ooh, and dying. Misses the shot through the door the first time, then dies the second time around. Turret RNG can be rough. It really is hard to get around those turrets sometimes. But yeah, Dino's now waiting for the cube. Now, I saw him do the fling in practice, so could he perhaps be thinking, maybe I can try doing the fling? If he's willing to do 0 cycle, then, maybe he's willing to give that fling a try as well. So we'll see what he does. Yep, it does indeed look like he's going to give that fling a try, which is pretty cool. We'll see how he can do. There's a jump. Manages to grab the cube, makes it up. Very nice. So there's Dinoz changing his route a little bit in the middle of the match. Fair enough. If he's confident he can do it, may as well take the free time save. Alright, Gurf once again doing camera stack. One would assume Dinoz just wasn't quite comfortable enough with the fling to, call it and say, I'm going to do that first round. But, with a win under his belt, probably has the confidence to try out those new strategies. All right. First overhead from Dinoz, no issues at all. Comes, grabs the camera. Ooh, unfortunate, dies to the turret after getting stuck on his portal. That is really unfortunate. And he loads back all the way to the start of the level. That is a really unfortunate save. Yeah, that stuff can happen sometimes in marathons. You're so invested in just going fast that you don't make the saves. And he is indeed doing the second reportal this time. So I'm curious to know, what his reasoning for doing that reportal versus not doing the reportal is. Interesting. Makes impossible shot and impossible strafe this time. So this is actually a really nice run from Dinoz. Obviously a few mistakes, but yeah, Gurf going for full indoor shot, not quite making it, but it doesn't lose too much time to go for it, so may as well. Oh, unfortunately shoots a bit too early for that reportal, so is going to have to retry a few times. I think he might have gotten the reportal height there, but didn't shoot on the reportal platform, so no reportals for Gurf in this one. Obviously a big difference from Dinoz's impossible shot plus impossible strafe, which is sort of the peak of 18 routes. But yeah, Dino's now speeding through 19 doing those peaks. Although I've been informed that the peaks are now outdated and that it is technically faster to do Spider-Man here. We saw Hervatsky doing that last round, which was pretty cool. But yeah, Gurf now entering into 19 as well, doing those peaks. And yeah, this is really where most of the time difference between these two runners comes from. Is just basically how quickly you can do the same strategies, and that's really where the time difference comes from for a lot of Glitchless. It's not necessarily about learning new strategies or implementing new strategies. It a lot of the time is just a matter of go faster. All right, Gurf doing I think a slightly varied version of the fake 09 to what he did last time. Alright, Gurf still failing that, unfortunately. Dino's now entering in, about to do flippy skippy skip again.
You're not a good person. You know that, right? Good people.
Yep, no issues with that. Once again, Dino's absolutely no troubles.
This is your fault. It didn't have to be like this.
Alright.
I'm not kidding now. Turn back, or I...
Gurf approaching the end of EO now, almost entering EO1. Alright, and Dino's now entering EO2. So at this point, there is probably not much that will change the standings here, bar like a power outage or, Dino's game crashing, which would be a bit unfortunate, to say the least. But yeah, it is very likely that Dino's is going to take this round and also take the match. But, as I always say, it's not over till it's over. Who knows, maybe Gurf is gonna, awaken his inner Glitchless god and suddenly be that, oh, he seems to have some really unfortunate saves there. He manages to bring it back by the looks of it. But yeah, he had some really unfortunate save positions there. Getting shot by the turret. But yeah, manages to run all the way over there, so that's really unfortunate. Looking back on Dinoz, once again standing under GLaDOS for this. Again, I've never seen anyone do this particular variation of the GLaDOS fight, but, if it's Dinoz doing it, it must be fast. But yeah, Gurf now entering into EO2 at around a similar time, I think, to the first run that he did. Unfortunately misses catwalk skip, I think. Did he miss it? I'm not sure. But yeah, now entering into those hallways. Dino's on second core, I believe. Doing that blue core optimization. Yep, in there. Ooh, he didn't quite get it though. Is going to have to go for a backup, reactivate it, and drop the core in like that. So yeah, that is the risk with the blue core optimization. It is pretty finicky, and isn't guaranteed to work. So you do have to be wary of that and have backups. Oh, and that's really unfortunate. So Dinoz misses the red core in midair. He's going to go for a backup, literally just by retrying the strat. I'm going to drop it in and get, I think that's a 1602, which is pretty insane. Gurf still going about halfway through the map. I believe he's waiting for that next core. All right. Gurf having a bit of a bounce around in the Glitchless room, as we all do on occasion. All right, and coming into the proper fight now. All right, Neurotoxin is activated. All right, onto the first core here. So it makes that shot. All right, grabs that. Pretty safe with it. Manages to get that core in with that issue. All right. Yep, 1603 from Dinoz. Very nice run. All right, you can do that blue core now. Grab it, hop on down, and chuck it in. Yep, no issues at all. I actually reckon that Gurf's EO2 probably would end up being a better time than Dinoz's. Actually, no, not quite. Looks like Dino's got a 219. Gurf's currently sitting at what looks like a 229. Although struggling a little bit on red core, which is unfortunate. All right, and finally finishes with a 1738. So, yep, that is going to be the second round of the match. 2 Dinos. Gurf definitely put up a very strong performance. Unfortunately, some mistakes right at the end there, stopped him from getting a much faster time. But that was still really good from both runners. But yeah, that does mean that Dinoz is going to win the match and is going to be moving on in the winners bracket, while Gurf is going to have to fight his way back up from the losers bracket. Okay.
GG's.
Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, that was really well played.
Anything else?
Well, what were you guys' thoughts on that?
That was some of the worst runs I've ever done in my life.
Well, that is definitely one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not super happy with some of the chambers, but overall, pretty consistent, I guess. Not too bad of times.
Yeah. Dinoz, I saw you go for like a 0 cycle in 15 and the fling in 17, so were you just sort of being a little more adventurous this run?
I forgot them and I DM'd Sid for the coordinates halfway.
Right. Well, that does explain that. All right. Well, that one's very cool. Thank you guys for putting up some pretty damn good runs. And I think we have another match in 10 minutes.
Cool.
All right. Awesome.
Peace.